hey, I had a great request from someone to make a fall arrangement with a couple of pumpkins. And when I was at the farmer's market just the other day, I ran across these two pumpkins. Loved them. They are awesome. Look at them. So great, right? Look at the great texture and colors on them. That's really fun. And so that was a perfect time for me to create a fall arrangement using these. And I thought today we'd do something different. Well, I'm going to make it in a crate. I have this crate on hand. It has a liner down inside. Okay. And I also have flower foam down inside there. This is the black flower foam, midnight flower foam from Oasis. And I've used a whole block of the black, right? And I've set it up on its end. That leaves plenty of room around the outside for me to add water. So there's a liner inside this. If you don't have a liner, you could use like a food container of some sort or a jar. Even some of the cylinder vases I have fit down inside this. So that would be a great thing to make this wood container watertight. And so what I'm going to do is I have my flower nutrient water, the flower food water with the Chrysler Professional 3 inside it. I've already added it to this. It's cold, just pulled it out of the refrigerator. I'm going to add that water inside here. I want to make sure that I have plenty of room for water because obviously I'm going to check it every day. Now look at a whole liter of water went into that container around the outside of that block of foam. One of the things that I love about the new Midnight foam is that it is black. And so it disappears. It disappears more than the flower foam we had before. That it was a funny green color, right? I mean, it didn't really look natural. And so this is going to look like a shadow. And obviously in a fall arrangement, that's going to be great. So you say I have room around the outside. One of the things I want to do first, and I always do this. So I'm going to use my knife to bevel the edge of the foam. And so what that does is, look, I'm cutting off a corner. I'm just cutting off the corner of that. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around here, come around each side of that block, and I'm going to cut off a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to remove that from the flower foam. The reason that I do this is because it makes for a more rounded surface. That's pretty cool, okay? So I've got a rounded surface, and it's going to make it easier for me to make a rounded arrangement. If I am trying to stick my flowers in a rounded form, I can go around the corner very easily. If I have a sharp angle, I've either got to go in this way or I've got to go in this way. And going in on the corner is going to cause me to drag foam down inside. It's not going to make a good connection for the flowers, and it's just not a good thing. So that's why I always bevel the edge. Now, again, we're going to want to make sure that our water is up high inside here. So I would even add a little bit more water to this after we're done creating it. So we'll leave in a little bit more than a liter so that we have water inside there. The foam can only wick up water about 3 or 4 inches. So I don't want the water level to fall much below that because then it won't be able to wick it up to the top and administer it to the flowers. So that's what I want to do. So my first placement is actually going to be my pumpkins. Okay, and so here's a little trick. If you wanted to, you could set your pumpkin in here and set your pumpkin right here. And by not placing a stick into them, they are going to last much longer. If I stick a stick inside them so they won't fall out, they're not going to last as long. Okay? But I want to show you both methods. So I could set these 2 pumpkins right here and then make my arrangement. The problem is when I'm moving it or if I'm transporting it somewhere, they would fall out. But they will last longer. Today, I'm going to use these bamboo sticks and I'm going to stick them into the pumpkin. And although it's not going to make it last as long, it's going to make sure that they're secure and they don't go anywhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this stick is I'm going to stick a stick in there just like this. And a pumpkin's tough, right? That's why I use that pointy end to go in there. I'm going to trim this, and I've created a sharper point on it. In fact, I could come back in and even use my knife to whittle. Did you ever watch the Beverly Hillbillies when Uncle Jed would whittle? So that's why I learned how to whittle, okay? So now I've got those 2 in there. Now I did 2 because I don't want it to move around. If I put just 1 in, it can spin around. But this way, I've got two that are going to hold it exactly in place where I place it. Now it's not going anywhere. Okay. So I'm going to take my second one. And again, I'm going to stick a bamboo stake in there. The pumpkins are tough. All right. And so then what I'm going to do is I can use just a shorter one like this too, even, and stick it in there. That's enough to hold this in place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in here, and notice how I've cantilevered it off the side a little bit. Okay, we're a little bit of Frank Lloyd Wright going on, right? So we've cantilevered it off the side so that I can have flowers that will come out underneath it and flowers that go around it. So then I'm going to place my other flowers in this bouquet to make it a beautiful fall arrangement. Okay, and so those guys can sit here. If you had a third pumpkin, you could set it down here, or put some gourds around the outside, or if you wanted to throw some moss down or some fall leaves, if you want to do that, you can do that too. So, but this will be a great decoration for our flower cocktail hour today. I know we'll celebrate fall because it's fall now. So that's great. So these bamboo skewers, I get them at the grocery store, and they're there for shish kebabs, and there's different lengths and different sizes. Pick some up. It's a great thing to have in your toolkit. And it's a great thing to have when you want to add fruit, when you want to add vegetables, when you want to add pumpkins to your arrangement. It's great to use those. So that's a good tip. All right. So now we're going to create the arrangement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up again. So I'll disappear. We'll make the bouquet. I'll come back to visit with you, but I'll teach along as we go so that you know exactly what we're doing. So I'm going to move my chair, get out of the way. I have a friend named Holly, and she designs sitting down. And I think it's amazing that she can design sitting down. I cannot design sitting down. I have to be standing up. So I went out into the yard and I picked up this beautiful assortment of stuff. Now, my friend Craig bought me these peppers on a stem, but I have 9-bark in here. I have viburnum. I have some mums that are growing in the yard. I've got some burning bush, some viburnum, and some hydrangeas. Craig also brought me a little bit of sedum. And I may stick a zinnia or two in here that's orange or red, because that could be fun too. So I get a lot of questions from people who want me to make a list of the stuff of the recipe that I create. Here's my theory about that. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. And what I want to let you know what's going on with that. So I make visual learning, and I create concepts for you that you can utilize with the flowers you have. You may not have all those things I have out in my yard, but you have different things. So I want you to use the concept to create what you want to. If you wanted to use gourds here, that would be great. If you wanted to have little white pumpkins, you could do that. If you had some fall leaves in your yard you want to use, great. Go for it that way. I don't want to make recipes for you because I don't want you to create exactly what I made. I want you to create what pleases you and makes you happy. That's what this is about. Okay, so the concepts of sticking the stick in or using the foam or beveling the foam edge, those things are things you can use with any arrangement that you have. But I don't make lists because it's going to change every single time. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of our 9-bark. And I think it's really fun. When I was picking it, I was trying to pick branches that looked like this, that were a little bit more bunchy and had a little bit more density. But then I saw this one, and look at that one, how long it is and how pretty it is. And I think one of the things that we think about and should think about is how our arrangement's going to look in the end. And so now I've got this one. You're not going to be able to see it's coming all the way up here. So it comes up another 6 inches up here. All right. But I want to show you that we can make it a little bit big. If you wanted to make it more compact, then you can make it more compact. Not a problem at all. You do whatever you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define the shape of my arrangement using my 9-bark. And so sticking that down in the front here, that means my arrangement's going to come forward to here. It's going to go all the way up to the top up here. And it's going to give us an idea of how big this arrangement's going to be. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of that 9-bark too in the middle. When we're inserting in foam, we're still cutting at an angle. We're still going to stick it in, and we want to stick it in about that far at least, because we want to go down to where that water line is, and that way our flowers are going to be able to take it up. We also want to leave a little space, and I'm going to leave a little space right back here in this arrangement. That little corner is going to be open, or at least I'll be able to pull the foliage up around it so I can see when I'm adding water. Because the thing I don't want to do is add water above my liner and then have a big wet mess. Okay, so I want to be able to see down inside there when I'm adding water. All right, so there we go. We've kind of defined our shape a little bit. Now, let's use a little bit of this burning bush. My burning bush is so pretty. It's so red. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. And I love the way burning bushes have square stems. Look at, there's an edge, 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 edge. It's a square stem, actually. So if I cut it off straight, you can see a little bit more that it's square. It's a square stem. And I like that. I think that's pretty fun. That's just a fun thing about the burning bush. And we're going to go ahead and place that back here. Now, if I place a stem and I don't like where it goes, and I want to change its location, I can do that, but I need to pick another hole. I need to take the stem completely out and choose another hole to go into. So just remember that, because if I use the same hole, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a place where there could be an air pocket in there. Now, remember how we cantilevered this over the top right inside there? I'm going to go in there with my burning bush to make that red color come out here a little bit further. That's nice. Okay, now we've got a little bit of our viburnum. I love the viburnum right now because it's got these beautiful blueberries on it. I wait all year long for it to have these blueberries, and I just love it. And it's getting tall, and so I'm cutting off some of those big, tall top stems. And if I have a little piece of it like this, I can add that, because one of the things about outside, when we look out and we see fall colors, it isn't always just all one color. It isn't all orange. It isn't all gold. It isn't all yellow. There's still a little bit of that green in there. And I think it's really important for us to include green in our bouquets, because that makes it look more natural and it makes it look more like what's going on outside. So just remember to make sure you add a little bit of that green in there. And I love that. Now you'll notice that I cut it up into several pieces. So I used 2 pieces of it, but I added in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. Okay? Because I cut those off and use them in different spots. Now, we're going to use my hydrangea. This is my PG hydrangea. Look at how pretty it is. It's getting that wonderful rusty color, and that is going to be such a great addition to my bouquet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that hydrangea, I'm going to cut it short, and I'm going to go right in here in the front, right down in the front, just like that. Okay, so now you can start to see what's happening, what's going on. You know what, I think he's going to run into a little bit of my pumpkins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn him around. Notice how this way the stem goes up. If I turn it the other way, the stem goes down. So I'm going to grab it, I'm going to go into a new hole, and I'm going to put it out here. Okay, see how that goes out there, and that's a little bit better. It's always about experimenting and playing around with your flowers to see what they're going to do. Now this one is going to go back here in the back side. And then look, I have all these were on one little stem. 1, 2, 3 beautiful little hydrangeas. And they go right there. It's going to go, whoop. You know what, I keep missing in there, so I'm picking a new spot every time. I want it to go inside. Oh, there it goes. It's going to go down in deep. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Now look, I have this great piece of viburnum branch. This is the first piece of my viburnum branch that's starting to turn fall colors. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I nipped this one off, and we're going to slip it right in here. And then I have another one like this. And I'm just going to tuck him back here in the backside, so that when you're looking back here, see, there he is right there. Brings a little bit of green in between those 2 colors. It's perfect. Ooh, that's starting to look really nice, isn't it? It's fun. Now, I told you about the peppers on a stem. So these are little hot peppers, and my friend Craig brought them to me. He had them on a stem, and this one has a couple of burned leaves. Not a problem. I'm just going to pop those off of there. because what I'm really interested in is those pretty little peppers, right? And so I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go right here. Again, I've got to make sure I hit the foam and go into the foam. I'm going to get rid of that leaf because he's hanging over the top of my little pumpkin. And I want to be able to see my little pumpkin that's right there. So I got those little peppers there. I'm going to make one a little bit longer. And I'm going to put him up here. And then his leaves are going to go in between this viburnum, this blue viburnum. Again, you'll notice I wove them in around that so that it didn't cover it up. Okay, let's see. I think we need one more set of peppers. I'm not a hot pepper fan for eating them. I don't like things that are very hot. That's just my own personal taste. Some people love that hot stuff. Craig's always saying, oh, here's a ghost pepper. Try that. No. But I love the hot peppers in my arrangement. It's so pretty. I think that's very, very, very pretty. And here's a little bit of that sedum that he got for me. Look at this. He was really proud of the stem on the sedum. So I'm going to show you. Look at, ooh, it's a long stem. But he would just be mortified that I'm going to make it short and put it in the middle of this. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut our sedum short. And you know what? I'm going to cut it even one more time. Short. I'm going to pull off the leaf. I'm going to tuck it in here tight like that. I'm going to take another one and tuck it in tight over here. That's Eleanor, if you can hear her. She's barking at something. She's giving a little growl or something. She must be hearing something going on outside, right? They're good guard dogs, making sure that everything's okay. Okay, so see now in the center of that bouquet, and I can kind of tip it forward for you a little bit so you can see. What we're doing is we're making a smooth area in the center of this bouquet so we don't obstruct those. And you know, I keep looking at this one piece of burning bush, and I'm just going to take him off because he was covering too much of that pumpkin. I want to see that pumpkin. See that little pumpkin inside there. I think that's awesome. Now, he also brought me a little bit of pampas grass. And look at that. It's got a great gray coloration. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple of those because pampas grass grows tall, right? So we're going to stick it up here in the middle of the bouquet. And sorry, you know what? That's out of your shot. Ha, ha, ha. Let me go like this. There. We're going up here taller with those pampas grass. Ta-da. There we go. That looks good. Now, I'm going to do, I've got just a little bit of foam showing in there. And again, that's okay if it was in a different place, but it's right in the center of our bouquet. This is what we call the focal area of the bouquet. That means that's where all of the lines in the bouquet draw our eye to this area right here. And so we want to fill it in a little bit. And so I'm going to fill it in with a couple of red zinnias that look like that. Yeah, that's hot colors, right? Hot, hot, hot colors. And I'm going to go short. And I'm simply going to tuck this red bloom right down there. Now look at it, it's right next to my pumpkin, like that. And then I'm going to take this one and it's going to go right down there so that they lay over the top of each other and they cover up that entire hole. Isn't that fun? That's awesome, right? And our bouquet's finished. I don't think there's anything else. I picked some of these purple mums, but I don't necessarily think they're important because, you know, my colors are starting to be reds and stuff. The purple's kind of fun in there, yeah, I guess, you know, but I like it a little bit more natural. And so sometimes I will pick something and then I won't use it. And then I find something like this green astilbe. These are the pods on the astilbe. And I'm just going to tuck a couple of those right down in here. Okay, just like that. And one more over here. There we go. Okay. So look at how that added a little bit of texture inside there, and that really helps everything look real nice. Love it. Love it, love it. Can I grab my garbage can and get rid of my garbage so that I can show you what we did. So we're recapping a little bit. We used our pumpkins. And with our pumpkins, we inserted our bamboo skewers inside them, 2 places to secure everything so it stayed in the right spot. Perfect way for us to do that. We picked up our bamboo stakes like this at the grocery store. So we got those bamboo stakes. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this guy down on the, well, I'll give you a spin around, okay, before we go. Spin around. And again, this is my spot for adding water. I left that area right back there. You can see it. It's right there. So I can get in there and make sure I can see when I add water, okay? And I like that the pumpkins are kind of down inside here. We're looking down inside the arrangement because I want to be able to look down and around in an arrangement and I want to see what's going on. And so we're going to set this guy here like that. And you know what? I'm just going to come over here for half a sec. I'm going to scoot this back just a little bit. And, well, and you know what? Here, I want to come up on it for you so you can see what the inside of it looks like. Okay? Inside of that with those pumpkins in there. Isn't that cute? Okay. And now I'm way off to the side. There we go. Okay. Better. Okay. And it looks really good. If I take it back here, I don't know if you'll be able to see the whole, oh, there you go. Now you can see the whole thing. Now you can see what it looks like. Yeah. So we got our 2 pumpkins there. Got our hydrangeas inside there. We got a little bit of stuff happening up here. It's all fun like that. Okay. So I hope you had fun. You should enjoy this. It's something that we should enjoy. We should enjoy our flower arranging time. We should put on our favorite music, grab a cup of coffee, grab a little bit of wine, whatever you want to, and have a really good time. Enjoying the process is super important for us. And I think that that's really great. I want you to feel comfortable when you're doing this. I want you to feel empowered by this. So hopefully the tips and tricks that I'm showing you are going to be something that are going to be helpful to you. If you have questions, we post these videos on our Facebook page, Chase Schwanke's Life in Bloom, and we post them on our YouTube channel. And so you can ask questions there. You can put questions along with them. We're going to do some live ones. I know I keep threatening that to you, but I think when we do the live things, what we'll do is we'll do like Ask Me Anything or something like that. So you can ask the questions and I can respond to the questions that you put on the screen. This way it gives me an opportunity for you to make suggestions and also for me to be able to answer the questions that you have too, and maybe send you to some other videos. If you're interested in things that we do, remember ubloom.com is my website, and we have over 1,800 different videos there. And subscriptions are only $3.99 a month or $38.40 a year, but we have a special discount code right now because of the pandemic. That is 50 at home, 50 ATHOME, all one word together and all capital letters. Okay. The number 5, the number 5, the number 0, ATHOME. So if you go to the website, it's on the second screen on the front page, and you can see what that is, and you can sign up there. Click on the links, and you'll be able to follow it. So that's awesome. All right, I hope you had a great time. Keep having fun with flowers. Enjoy fall. Make a pretty arrangement. We're going to get this set up for flower cocktail hour, and that's going to be great. Check out our Instagram too. Our Instagram is ubloom.com, and that's where we post the pictures of what we make here. So hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon.